Hi, we're Finbar and Vivian, and we're going to debate on the topic of ethical consumption.
Cool. Do you think veganism is ethical consumption?
Yes. However, I don't think it's the only form of ethical consumption. In terms of, I'm guessing you're saying veganism is ethical because you don't kill anything. I think you can still consume meat ethically.
I mean, in terms of environmental responsibility, that's why I'd say it's ethical. Killing things is kind of, I mean, yeah, it's ethical, it's ethics, but I don't know, that's more up for debate, because, I don't know, that just doesn't faze me as much as environmentalism.
So you're thinking ethical consumption mainly depends on being more in sync with the environment and
That's just
being greener?
That's just my set of ethics, though.
Yeah, but I think ethical consumption is more than just that. I agree, green energy and all of that is ethical consumption. But for example, looking at how products are made and whether, for example, child labor is used is also a form of ethical consumption, because if you consume products that are made by child labor, you're endorsing this, which is unethical.
But I agree with that, but I'd say ethical consumption should focus more on benefiting everyone, like all people, essentially.
Yeah, but how are you not benefiting? You're not benefiting everyone necessarily, but by benefiting a small group who are, for example, doing child labor by not consuming this.
I mean, everybody should benefit from it, as in nobody should be singled out to not benefit from it. So,
From what? From what you are
ethical
consuming?
consumption, yeah.
How would that single someone out?
You need to help everybody with ethical consumption, or try and bring everybody up to equality.
Yes.
So you can't go around buying stuff made by child labour, because that clearly endorses.
Yes.
Whereas eating meat because you disagree with killing animals doesn't really benefit anybody apart from a cow.
Equally, I think it depends on if you go in terms of killing animals. I get that you're thinking it's more in terms of the environmental impact of going vegan, but I think you also need to look at the ethics in terms of, for example, how you're killing the animal.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
because there are ethical ways of doing that and unethical ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Fair enough. But yeah, producers also need to help with it though, because like recycling, it's kind of rubbish because you can't recycle most stuff. And like plastics, you can recycle loads of plastics, but because they're all different kinds of plastics, most of them don't get recycled. So it's kind of difficult to be ethical when you're using plastics, because you can go, technically this is recyclable. Practically it isn't, because like I know in the UK, each different borough or each different zone in the UK has different recycling capabilities, which means that in one area you might be able to recycle something, in a different area you can't.
I think for that you kind of need to educate people better though, because I do agree actually, think zero waste is the most ethical type of consumption for plastic, because you don't use any plastic, so you don't create any waste. But a lot of people, because they think it can get recycled, think that they're being ethical by buying certain types of plastic because those are recyclable, and therefore because they are recyclable, they're then not as bad for the environment as they really are.
I'd say the onus is not on education; it's on the companies producing plastics to make it simpler, because it doesn't matter how much you educate people. I mean, it does, but if there's 50 different kinds of ways to recycle in each different area, that's just, you'll spend your whole life researching how to recycle plastic, and a lot of people don't care enough.
Equally, in that sense, if you're looking at the producer, you might as well say stop using plastic, start using other material that is more recyclable.
Yeah, I agree with that, but if you're using plastic, a lot of things need plastic in them.
Yes, so use plastic that is recyclable. The problem is that even if it's recyclable, most countries actually only recycle 9% or so of their recyclable plastic.
Yeah, but that's half just because there's too many different types of plastic that need to be separated.
It's
out
also
into-
partly because they can't be bothered, and then they dump.
But that's
on
a whole
other
different
countries.
issue. That's something that
That's true.
governments and such need to be held accountable for.
We've probably gone slightly off topic.